Red Bull in 2022 and 2023 dominated both world championships, but in 2024, Red Bull was only able to win the Drivers' Championship thanks to the brilliance of Max Verstappen, as they dropped to third in the most important championship, which is the Teams' Championship, and Red Bull were beaten by Mclaren and Ferrari. Because of this, Red Bull now has a new driver lineup for the 2025 season, and today I will be previewing Red Bull for the upcoming season. If you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button and subscribe for more F1 content. But now, let's get into the video. As I mentioned, Red Bull's main goal in 2025 will be to win both world championships, as they have been for the most part the team that has dominated the ground effect regulations. But from the Miami Grand Prix onwards in 2024, the competition had finally arrived, as McLaren got on top of the regulations, and Ferrari also made huge breakthroughs, as both teams actually beat Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, as Red Bull, it seems, has gotten a little bit lost on how to improve their car. There has been a lot of changes surrounding the team, with several members leaving, most notably of course being Adrian Newey, and there is a chance that this has caused some slight issues. However, at the end of the season, Red Bull seemed to have potentially gotten on top of some of the issues that they were facing, as Verstappen scored the most points in the last 5 races, scoring more than anyone else with 83 points. Charles Leclerc was second with 81 points, and Lando Norris was third with 77 points. Last year, when I previewed Red Bull for the 2024 season, it was on the back of potentially the most dominant season ever by a team, as Red Bull won 21 out of 22 races, and Verstappen won an unbelievable 19 races, and 10 of those 19 races were won consecutively. Essentially, Red Bull was absolutely unbeatable in race trim with Max Verstappen, and at the beginning of 2024, it looked like we were in for more of the same, as Verstappen won quite easily in Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Japan, and also at China. It was ominous, but then in Miami, a breakthrough happened. Verstappen did slightly damage his car, but Lando Norris did beat him on pace. Sainz did win in Australia, but let's be honest, Max didn't stand a chance given he retired. After this, Red Bull were no longer the dominant force, but Max did still win plenty of the following races, winning at Imola, Barcelona, and also Montreal. After these races though, it was 11 races before Verstappen won again. This was his longest winning drought since 2020, when he went 12 races without a win, which really puts into perspective how much had changed. In 2020, Verstappen was fighting an all-dominant Mercedes team, but in 2024, Verstappen was fighting McLaren, Ferrari, and also occasionally Mercedes, and the fight at the front had really closed up and become must-see, and you couldn't miss a race. One of Red Bull's biggest strengths in 2024, other than Verstappen, was their ability when it came to high-speed downforce. They arguably still had the strongest car in this area, especially if the race surface was smooth and flat, and we saw that with Verstappen when he won the race in Qatar, quite easily it has to be said. Their biggest issues though has been in slow speed corners and over the bumps. If Brazil was dry, Verstappen probably wouldn't have won that race, for example, as McLaren definitely had the edge over them in dry that weekend. But mix in rain and Verstappen's brilliance, and you have a recipe for success that even McLaren could not fight. In 2025, Red Bull will need to work on getting their car around slower speed corners and over bumps better, because well, when the car is at speed, it works quite nicely most of the time for them. I just want to say if you are enjoying the video so far, then I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe for more F1 content. But now, let's get back to the video. For Liam Lawson then, he is entering his first full-time season as an F1 driver, and he will be driving for Red Bull after spending 2 seasons partially driving for VCARB and AlphaTauri, depending on what you want to call them. And well, it has to be said, Liam Lawson will be under an immense amount of pressure to perform and perform immediately. Lawson was selected over Yuki Tsunoda, but if he does fail to perform, then there is a chance that they may just swap Tsunoda and Lawson around at some point to give Yuki a chance in the top team. Also, he is under pressure because the only reason he is in the seat is because they lost the Constructors' Championship and the team is pretty much blaming Sergio Perez for that. Therefore, Lawson has to perform and get the team to the front of the Constructors along with Max. There are positives though for Liam Lawson, and that is why Red Bull will have chosen him, and that is he is quite aggressive on track, and also it's not taken very long to him to get up to similar speeds as Yuki Tsunoda, whereas Tsunoda did take a few seasons to actually become quite good and get up to speed. As I said as well, Lawson is quite aggressive, and he used that aggression to annoy and frustrate the likes of Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso in 2024, which is a positive for Red Bull. Red Bull now has two drivers who can and will attack on track. As long as the moves are clean and Lawson continues to show good pace, then I think he should be fine. If the pressure starts to get to Liam Lawson, however, I can see him crack and crumble pretty quickly. But hopefully that doesn't happen for Red Bull, and they now have two drivers who can fight at the front of the field somewhat consistently. For Max Verstappen then, he became the first driver since Nelson Piquet to win the World Championship, with the constructor finishing in third place. And Verstappen really carried Red Bull in 2024, it has to be said. If Max Verstappen was not in the team, then it was not likely that Red Bull was winning either championship. Because, well, let's be honest, Max was manhandling that car and getting it into places where it should not have been. Usually, he was fighting for podiums despite the car not handling very well, and his teammate was struggling to even score any points. For Max, he is now a 4-time world champion and will be looking to make it 5 world championships in a row. He will be under pressure though to perform in 2025. In 2024, he was able to make a big lead early on when the car was at its strongest, and then he protected that lead for the remainder of the season. In 2025 though, it's unlikely that he will be able to make a big lead early on based on how 2024 went. However, as I said earlier, Max Verstappen did actually score the most points out of anyone in the final 5 races. He was helped by the fact that Red Bull in sprints was more competitive than they were in Grand Prix, but also Max Verstappen was incredible, winning in Brazil from way down the order and winning pretty comfortably in the end. I do expect a close fight in the World Championship though this year between Lando Norris, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, with Lewis Hamilton and Oscar Piastri potentially being in the mix from time to time as well, which will make things very, very interesting for us the viewers. For Red Bull then in 2025, they will be looking to win back the Constructors' Championship as well as once again competing for the Drivers' Championship. If Liam Lawson can get comfortable with the car pretty quickly, then there is no reason why they can't compete for both titles. Verstappen showed that the car at the end of 2024 was still a very competitive one. The question is, can they end the ground effect era on a high? They don't have Adrian Newey anymore, and this is the last season with Honda power before they have their own engines and partner with Ford for the hybrid system, which in my opinion will almost certainly see Red Bull lose some competitiveness in 2026. Therefore, this could be their last chance to win the Constructors' Championship for a number of years. The question is though, what do you guys think will happen to Red Bull in 2025? Will they win both championships? In the comment section down below, please do let me know. And as always, comment, leave a like and subscribe for more F1 content. Thank you all so much for watching.